to Sharing with Sheri. I'm your host, Sheri Riley, and I have a special guest for you today, entrepreneur, celebrity barber, and so much more, Danny Shakur. And I'm so glad you are here today. How are you feeling?
I feel sensational.
You feel
I do, yeah.
You look fresh for sure.
Thank you. You do as well.
So I met you through Ashley Glass.
Okay.
And, you know, she told me about an interesting story about you, and I was just like, you know, I just really have to hear his story, and then we had lunch together. Mm-hmm. So how did you know Ashley?
Ashley is a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
We came across each other because she saw one of my billboards. I have multiple billboards around the city. I have my face on multiple buses, you know. So she ended up bringing her daughter in for an undercut. Okay. And she loved it so much, you know.
Awesome.
She also ended up getting an undercut also. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that right there turned into a power lunch, you know, where we discussed ideas, you know, and we talked about manifesting, you know, how, you know, we were manifesting the life that we wanted.
Yeah. And
you know, that right there turned into the
manifestation mixer.
Yes.
It's a great event. Yep. Awesome. So let's talk about you as a barber, the celebrity barber.
Yes,
when I went on your website, you call yourself Fresh, Danny Fresh, the barber.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you get fresh from?
Well, actually, I've been, you know, being called fresh since I was 15, 16.
Okay.
Back then, you know, in high school, I worked at the mall, so I had all the fresh shoes, had all the fresh clothes, you know, and I always kept my hairline crispy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Crispy?
Crispy, you know. So I kind of ran with it. And then I also threw parties. I was a party promoter when I was 16 also.
That's what's up.
And the DJ we worked for, DJ Sean Hudson. Shout out DJ Sean Hudson. You know what I'm talking about? But he gave me Danny Fresh.
Okay.
You know, he just put it together because I was being called, my grandma called me Donnie. So it was like, man, we'll call you Danny Fresh.
And you just stuck with it. It just felt good.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned on your site from the beginning, my goal was to make sure every client feels and looks like a celebrity.
Yes, ma'am.
So what makes you so passionate about helping people?
I love making people feel good. I love making people look good.
Yeah.
You know, I want people to feel as good as I feel. You know, people to look as good as I look. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
you know?
of course. I mean, when I go and get my hair done, I feel confident. Right. I feel a lot more, you know, pretty.
It's a transfer.
You feel good.
Energy.
Yeah. You definitely feel better.
For sure.
What's the celebrity experience? Because you mentioned that on your site as well. So take us through a celebrity experience when we come in your barbershop.
The celebrity experience is the energy. You know, I just got off tour. 11 cities in 5 months. I was on tour with Chris Brown and DJ Khaled's barber, plus multiple other stars. You know what I'm talking about? So we hit multiple cities. And from those cities, I grabbed a lot of energy, you know, a lot of knowledge. And, you know, I bring that with me. Okay. So, you know, the Danny Fresh experience is more than a haircut.
Okay.
You know, it's a transfer of energy.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm loaning all this to you when you come see me.
All that fresh energy.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I do it for real, yeah.
So how did you get started doing being a barber?
Actually, I started cutting hair 20 years ago when I was in the Navy, but it was more like a hobby. But when I got out, I kind of got away from it. But what brought me back was I didn't want to work for someone else anymore. You know, I thought about all the energy, all the hours that I gave to a company. You know, that was only giving me a fraction of the profit. You know, when I was like, listen, Danny Fresh, you know, you can put that energy to yourself. Yeah. And that's what I did.
Absolutely. So that entrepreneurial spirit has always been there for you.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. Well, coming back, we're going to talk about how you weren't always a celebrity barber.
Yes,
right back here at Sharing with Sheri.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
I your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same, don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path, all you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Being a parent, especially for the first time, with that comes a lot of self-doubt. As a dad, I just try to lead by example. When you're trying to be the best person that you can be, your kids see that and then they emulate that.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to Sharing with Sheri, and we're going to talk about you just as Danny, not Danny Fresh the barber, but just Danny. And when people hear about you, they think of, celebrity barber, they think of hair designer, they think of your services that you provide, but they don't know the whole story behind Danny, how he had to transform himself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about that. But before we go into that, we're going to show a clip of us at the Kenton County jail cell and where your story kind of began there. So we'll be right back. I'm standing in front of the old Kenton County jail building that is being renovated as apartments as we speak. But this spot right here, this spot is very important to Danny Shakur's lowest point in his life. And we're going to talk about it right now. So, what does it feel like being here?
Man, it brings back memories, It's like a cage, I was actually locked up inside there, like, I can't get out.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Cage bird.
Cage bird.
Yeah.
And it's like, when we did leave to go to court, they stuffed us inside the back of the van. Handcuffs.
Wow.
It's wild.
I mean, the person you were, the young man you were before you came in there, how has he transformed today?
Now, I'm more confident in myself. I believe more in myself.
Do you feel like what put you in here was the charges that you were being brought against, or was it things that in your past you were already doing?
I feel like God put me in a position to slow down and, get my mind right. So I believe, it was a combination of things. Just making bad decisions. Put myself in wrong situations,
How different is Danny today?
How different, man. I'm much more focused. Right now, I feel like I'm moving to my purpose,
Who is Danny Shakur?
He's a motivator, a leader, I'm a god, you know. And when I say that, I mean that by I created my world, you know. I created my reality.
And what lessons did you learn? What lessons did you learn from this?
Keep you first. Keep the right people around you. Set goals. You know, I feel like then I was all over the place. That's how I got caught up, you know? So, man, now, you know, I set goals, I stick to them. It's wild. Life changes, you know, evolution.
You know, just watching that, it just, you know, you going through the motions when we were there, it was really inspiring. So, what were you?
Memories.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did it bring back memories for you? What was the feeling for you?
It was just a feeling of being, I would say, in jail, like being inside of a box, you know, being restricted, you know, like a bird in a cage.
Yeah. I mean, what was going on with you prior to being locked up?
Prior to that, I would say I graduated high school, 2001. I went to the Navy the same year. Went to war, went overseas.
Wow.
Hit a lot of countries, you know, came back, worked, found me a good job, did that, but I got caught up in the streets.
Okay.
You know, and that led me to being around the wrong people, which put me in bad situations.
So you're sitting in jail. What were you accused of, and who accused you of it?
I would say in 2008, I was accused of second-degree burglary in Kenton County or Covington, Kentucky. You know, somewhere where, you know, I had no business being.
Okay.
But it was second-degree burglary.
Okay. And so, when you were there, like, did you fight it? Did you want to fight it, or did you just plead guilty, or how did that?
I fought it, and actually, the story behind it is I was trying to get custody of my son. I was in the process of getting custody, and you know, his mom filed false charges on me. You know, saying that I broke in the house and beat her up, physical harm, and all that. You know, so I didn't know about that because I wasn't staying there.
Okay.
So I had just happened to get pulled over one day, and that's when I found out I had a warrant for second-degree burglary in Kentucky.
Wow.
Right.
And it was the mother of your child who accused you of it.
Yes, ma'am. My second oldest son.
What was going on in your mind at that time, knowing that it was someone close to home?
It's crazy. It's crazy how someone can, you know, use the law as a weapon, you know, against you. And I just, I don't know, it felt crazy, you know, because I've never been in jail before that. So I was put in jail. My bond was at $50,000, and when I was arrested, I had a key to the apartment, and I let the police know that, listen, like, I stayed there. I have a key right here. So, you know, why would I have to break in if I have a key? Yeah. You know, so I ended up still going to jail. I had a bond of $50K, no 10% in Kentucky, and I was at the Kenton County jail. Okay. The old jail, and it's condemned, and it was condemned. Okay. So I was in there with mold on the wall and the showers and all that. Was something that I didn't do. You know, I knew for a fact that there was no evidence to support this claim.
So why not fight it? Why didn't your lawyers fight it?
Well, I did fight it. I was in jail for almost 8.5 months, and I had a public defender because I didn't think that it would go that far because I really didn't do it. I had a key. And the police acknowledged that I had a key. So I just didn't think that it would elevate to that extent. Because like I said, I was not familiar, you know, with going to jail and, you know, going to court and all that. I thought it would just be like, listen, I didn't do it. I got a key.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. You mentioned while you were there, while you were in jail, you just didn't think it would go to that extent.
Yes, ma'am.
But while you were there for what, 8 months, you said?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's like, what were you thinking in the silence sitting in that jail cell? knowing how you got there?
Right. Really, I was angry.
Yeah.
I was mad.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I was in there and she was out there living her life. But I know that I couldn't dwell on it. I know that I had to use that time wisely. So while I was there, I read the Bible, the whole Bible. I read dictionaries. I started writing more. And I started getting more in tune with myself.
Yeah. Would you say because you had so much silence and so much time,
Yes, ma'am.
that it forces you
Yes, ma'am.
to read, forces you to be more inside of yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I totally agree.
Would you say that you needed that at that point in your life? Because prior to that, you said you were kind of on a down spiral course.
Yes, ma'am. I would agree to that. I would agree that, you know, the Most High sitting me down, you know, and being able to talk to Him and get more in tune with myself, my inner self. Yes, it really did help me. You know, it gave me a better understanding on life. You know, it showed me that any opportunity free, I should seize it. You know, it taught me to maximize my potential.
Yeah.
Because at any time, your freedom can be took. You know, so that right there really something clicks.
How do you co-parent with someone that has accused you of something that you didn't do? Now it's on your record. Right? Because you
Yes,
were
ma'am.
found guilty.
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. I pled guilty.
You pled guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you co-parent with someone like, you know, in that situation?
Well, to end the story with it, when it was time to go to trial with the court, she actually came in and told a different story from what she said initially.
Okay.
So the jury of my peers came back not guilty because there was no evidence of any physical harm. Any physical harm. There was no evidence of any physical harm. And I also had a key. And the statement she made in trial was the opposite of the statement she made from the beginning.
Okay.
You know?
So the jury found you not guilty.
But the judge and the prosecutor said that they would not accept the verdict.
Wow.
So I don't know what that means.
Talk about the law and how backwards it is.
How backwards is the law? You gotta tell me. I mean, that's crazy. But
I mean, that's
yeah,
incredible.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And you know, it's all on tape. It's all on file.
Yeah.
You know what transpired that day. But being how I just want to get out of jail.
Yeah.
I pled guilty, and I had 5 years probation.
Have you forgiven her?
Yes, I had.
Okay.
I had.
Did that help you kind of move forward?
Yeah, like you said, I feel like it was God's plan.
Yeah.
So I made it through unscathed, you know, and she did take me off child support though. Like,
Okay.
you know, afterwards, you know, she did apologize. She did, you know, say that she made it up.
Okay.
So, you know, just her being honest
Yeah.
and, you know, admitting that I wasn't
Yeah,
tripping,
yeah,
you know.
Well, we wanted her to be here, but she couldn't be here.
Right,
She
right.
wanted to be here, but
Right.
she lives out of town.
Yes,
So, but yes, I'm glad that you two were able to work through that because you have a child together.
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Well, coming up, we're going to talk about how those dark moments while in jail transformed him into the artist and the barber that he is today. So, coming back on Sharing with Sheri.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night, too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
My uncle, Freddie Lee Tyson, was a part of the syphilis study. He was such a wonderful man, a very loving, very caring, very jovial person. He helped build the air base at Moulton Field. When you think about the Tuskegee Airmen, all of the greatness that they did, and then in this same space, such an atrocious study was being heaped upon our men, that really shook my spirit. They were not being treated. That is very different from what's happening with COVID-19. The vaccine is being made available to anyone who wants it, even those who find themselves at the space of hesitancy. We have to have patience and give them the requisite information that they need, that they can make an informed decision. But let's do it out of love.
When a child in your life requires intensive care, their health fragile, their condition complex, certified acute care pediatric and neonatal nurse practitioners will give you the information and support you need to make the best decisions for your child, while providing the critical care your child needs. Trained to diagnose and manage life-threatening conditions and emergencies, they are trained to make a difference. Learn why at certifiednurses.org.
Thanks for tuning in. We are back and we're going to talk about what got you through those deep moments of silence while you were sitting in jail. You said you wrote and you read. What exactly did you write?
I wrote a lot of rap songs.
You wrote a lot of rap songs?
I did.
Oh man.
It's crazy.
And it's funny that, you sent me your videos and I just was like, really amazed at your personality and your energy. Right. I almost feel like you have some acting ability going on there.
I do.
But we're gonna cut to one of your clips of your music videos, and so tune in.
I'm feeling like the engine. I know I can. Wow. No, I know I can. Wow. I know I can. I'm feeling like the engine. I know I can. Wow. No, I know I can. Wow. I know I can. Whip it, whip it. Whip it up. 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 Whip it in the kitchen. Whip it in the studio. The way I'm selling ad-libs, you would say I'm moving low. You can get it for the low, and you know the shit for sure. The captain of the ship, man, you can say CEO. I made them hoes get on the floor, bounce that ass and drop it low. Currency I need, man, but that you already know. I know, before they choose, I let them know. MOB on everything, you know I gotta get this dough. Hold this cash pad on the floor, I sink it strong back to the show. Arm and hammer time, all this soda gotta go. Just tell it like I fucking know. I know I can, I know I'm gonna get that roll. I'm feeling like the engine. I know I can. Wow. No, I know I can. Wow. I know I can. I'm feeling like the engine. I know I can. Wow. No, I know I can. Wow. I know I can. Whip it, whip it. Whip it up. Whip it, whip it. Whip it up. Whip it, whip it. Whip it up. Whip it, whip it. Whip it up.
All right, so your words were, I'm feeling like an engine. I know I can. I know I can. And I just was like,
classic.
And you're writing this while in silence in jail. What was going on in your mind when you're writing these lyrics, like feeling wise, spiritual wise?
Words are power. I was chanting, I'm always my own cheerleader. Every day. I wake up, I tell myself I'm the best. Every day I tell myself I can. So, you know, that was me telling myself I can make it through this. I can make it through this. I can overcome this.
Right. Yeah. And other lyrics, I ain't tripping. They're praying for my downfall, but I ain't tripping.
Right.
I kind of feel like, you know, you were kind of in a place where you're like, you know, I'm not going to let this take me to a dark place, right? Because if I'm already in seclusion, right? So I'm trying to keep my mind and my spirit,
for sure,
my energy vibrations up.
For sure.
So you tell me what was going on during that time.
Something clicked.
Yeah.
You know, that's really how I was feeling. Like, you know, everything is mental.
Yeah.
You know, I refuse to let anything affect me. You know, because I have the power. You know, we all have the we all have the power to create our own reality. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
And what was your reality?
My reality at that time was I was restricted. I was holding myself back.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have the confidence that I needed
Yeah.
at that time.
Sometimes we need to go off and we need to seclude ourselves so that we can get healed, right?
Right.
Do you think that was for you as well?
Yes, ma'am. I really do. I feel like that was a major turning point in my life. You know, that showed me how easily my life can be taken away from me. You know, you don't have to die for your life to be taken away from you.
Right.
You know? So that right there brought me close. Like, it really showed me that I have to maximize my potential. I have to push myself to the furthest limit. You know what I'm saying? I have to use all my abilities, you know, all the powers that God gave me. Everybody got to see this.
It gave you that drive.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Got you. So what's next? Celebrity barber, you're an artist. Do you want to continue to do music?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing it.
Yeah.
For sure.
What's stopping you?
You know, really, we're just building the Danny Fresh brand.
Yeah.
You know, and we're making sure that's solid, making sure everything is consistent. And then, you know, from then, I'll go ahead and branch out. But, you know, music definitely is still on the table.
Yeah.
Is music,
if you weighed it on a table, where would music be in serving others?
I would say serving others.
Okay. On the scale, how much would it tip?
A lot. You know,
okay.
because what you put in, you get back. So when you put out positive energy, it comes back 100 times stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. For
sure.
Now, I was looking on your site as well. You do a lot of volunteer services,
yes, ma'am.
Volunteering your time to children and adults who may have hardships, providing them services as well. Talk about what you do when you're volunteering your time.
Matter of fact, me and Miss Ashley Glass, you know, we help kids and adults with mental health. So I do mental health seminars. I also do motivational speaking seminars. I also visit multiple schools and cut hair for free. You know, because like I said, I love making people smile. You know, it'd be the kids. You know, I make the kids smile with a crispy haircut. But you know, when they go home to their parents, it makes them smile. You know, so it's like I'm killing 5 birds with one stone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, with one haircut.
Absolutely. Well, then you're doing what you are supposed to do then. Your purpose. You're doing your purpose.
For sure.
What's your vision for the future?
My vision for the future is opening up my own nail spa, starting my own YouTube, doing my own webisodes. I also want my own reality TV show. I'm also working on that. My own reality TV show.
See, the acting stuff's coming.
The
acting stuff's coming out.
For sure, because you know, barbering is a platform. You know, barber gives me a platform. You know, to be me.
Absolutely.
To be creative. And that's how I want to maximize my potential. And you know, that's what I preach every day. You know, my purpose is to motivate and to inspire.
So for the younger men watching you, okay, maybe going down the same path that you were prior to being in jail and transforming yourself, what advice would you give them?
Me personally, I would say trust in who you are. Believe in yourself. You know, just know that time is moving, whether we like it or not. Invest. You know, get you a trade. You know, carpentry, electrician, plumbing. You know, make good use of your time because time flies.
Okay.
So, and you know, it also keeps you busy also.
Yes.
So, you know, stay busy, stay healthy, stay alive, and stay out of jail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm preaching the 3 S's. Staying alive, staying healthy, and staying out of jail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Well, stay tuned, guys, because we are going to go inside Danny Fresh, the barbershop, next on Sharing with Sheri. So you don't want to miss that episode. Conversations with Danny Shakur. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.